we are. Tsama Nafshi Romema Yerushalyim, Sefer Nefesh HaChaim. Talmud, prime disciple of the Vilna Gaon of Chaim Volozhiner. Wondrous Sefer. Now, Roy knows exactly where we got up to, but in the meantime, while he's not here, we can while he's not here, we'll do Perikut Aleph.
Okay. For me to read?
Okay.
V'zehu hatam sheha-malachim ha-makdishim. The reason that the kings were makdish.
The malachim, with the Aleph.
Oh, the angels.
Yeah.
The angels began Bishmei Marom in the name of the one high, Mamtinim L'Shalesh Kedushasam Ad Achar She'anu Mishalshim Kedusha L'Mata.
Right.
So the Malachim began in the name of Hashem. Mamtinim, I don't know that word.
Okay, first of all, V'zehu hatam, and this is the reason.
Mm-hmm.
So he's connecting what he finished off saying in the previous parak with what he's now saying over here. It's not he's continuing. V'zehu hatam, and this is the reason that the malachim that are makdishim, that do the kedusha, Yishmei Marom, upstairs in the high places. Mamtinim, they wait. Meaning the Shalesh Kedushasam. They wait in doing their three-pronged kedusha
until after
Achar she'anu mishalshim kedusha l'mata.
Until after we do our kedusha below.
Right.
They wait until we say kedusha when we daven.
Yes.
And then they say kedusha.
Right.
So is that for every prayer or just for Shacharis?
Yeah, this is the.
Mincha we do.
Yeah, we once spoke about this. How many kedushas there are in our Shacharis? We have kedusha of Berkes Kriyashma, but that is that's not a three-pronged kedusha. It doesn't have the three psukim. It just has the HaKodesh, 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 and it has Baruch Hashem Kavod Malchuso. It does not have Imlo.
In Shema,
Berkes Kriyashma, in the first bracha of Yotzer HaMa'oros, you have two of the
three.
So he's specifying here when we do the three-pronged kedusha, which includes the pasuk of Yimloch Hashem.
Okay.
So this is referring to the kedusha that's said by Chazaras Hashatz.
Right. Okay, so that would be Shacharis and Mincha.
Shacharis and Mincha.
Afshe Kedusha Sam, even the Kedushas, the Ma'ala,
even though their kedusha Sam.
Oh, their Kedusha above,
right?
Kedusha Seinu.
Nafshi Kedusha Sam, Ma'ala, Kedusha Seinu.
It's from our Kedusha.
Even though their kedusha Sam, even though their kedusha is Lamala mi Kedusha Seinu. Here he's not talking about the Sein of Kedusha, he's talking about the Kedusha of Amalek. The Kedusha of Amalek is Lamala, is above that
above our
of the Kedusha Seinu, of our level of Kedusha.
Even though they're above us, they wait till after us.
Right.
You might think that they would go first.
Yeah, they're
president.
They're Kadosh, yeah.
Lo shehem chokim kavod Yisrael. Not that they have a part in the honor of Israel.
Not that they apportion. This is a verb here.
Oh,
in other words, chelik is a portion, and chokim is to apportion, to give. In other words, to be machalek would be to apportion.
So they do not apportion to the honor of Israel. Ella,
in this that they're waiting, they're not doing that in order to give kavod to Klal Yisrael. Ella, what's the reason why they do that?
Ella, rather, she'ein b'chokam, that there is not in their strength v'chalsam klal mitzad atzmam. Hey, how are you?
Hey, Roy.
Good to see you, Roy. Thank you for
Good
your
to see you,
telephone
Roy.
calls. Their strength is not able to rule in the side of themselves. So this is miklau mitzad atzman.
Right.
Their side, something their side, the rule of their side. The rule on their side.
It's an expression, mitzad. Mitzad atzmam, for their part, so to speak.
Okay.
Ella should, in other words, from their side. She'ein b'koicham v'yicholtam. It's not within their capability or strength at all. Mitzad atzmam, on their part, liftoach piem lahakdish liyotzram. We're starting here at the beginning of Yud Aleph. We may have done this before, but I'm not sure. We may have done this before November 1st. We haven't done it together. So first of all, Zehu Atam. This is for this reason. He's referring to what he said in the previous paragraph, where we had a discussion about who is greater, a man, meaning Klal Yisrael is man, or a malach. So he said, of course, a malach has greater kedusha, he has greater hasagos, meaning ability to achieve, ability to act, ability to understand Torah. He knows it all. Even Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know all what the Malachim told him. The Malachim gave Moshe Rabbeinu secrets that he didn't know at all. He didn't know that when there's a magefa, you can do the Ketores and you can stop the magefa. That was the matana that the Malachim gave to him, that he used for good reason when he needed it by the trouble that Klal Yisrael got into in the Midbar. Malachim are greater, there's no doubt, than man. Except Nefesh HaChaim said that there's one aspect that the Malachim are subordinate to man, and that is in the fact that Hashem made man b'tzad Malachim, which means that a man has a certain tzad hashava. He has a certain commonality with Hashem. Hashem is Elokim. He's Bala Kochos Kulam. He is the one who is the source of all powers in the world and all light and sustenance and life, and the way Hashem wired man, made him Tzelem Elokim, through our actions, we confer upon Hashem the ability to give all of these things to the world. It's through us that Hashem, if we do a lot, then Hashem gives out a lot. If we don't do what we're supposed to do, then Chas v'Shalom. So, and a Malach, he doesn't even have the ability to increase his own level of Kedusha, only through Klal Yisrael's actions. So this is what he's saying over here. V'zehu atam, and this is the reason that the Malachim, when they say the three-pronged Kedusha, they wait for Klal Yisrael. Why do they wait for Klal Yisrael? Not in order to give honor to Klal Yisrael. Klal Yisrael doesn't need the honor from the Malachim. That's not the reason. But what is the reason?
We don't need it, or because they're not doing it.
They're not doing it. That's what he's saying. Lo shehem. You might think, right, that like the Malachim themselves. It says in Avos Reb Nelson, actually, when they do Kedusha, it says that the Malachim between themselves say one to another, you go first because you're greater than I am. So that's a type of giving honor, one Malach to the other, to let that Malach go first, because he considers himself to be less than his fellow Malach. So what should we say about people that butt in line? They obviously think that they're better than everybody else. That's why they should come first. They probably don't think about that. They just want to be able to get the thing over with, and they don't have any patience to wait. So that's really the bottom line. They don't have any patience.
Right.
Here, Lo Shehem Cholkim Kvod L'Yisrael. It's not because, like they do with one another, that they give honor to one another and say, you go first because you're greater than I am. No, that's not the reason why. Rather, the reason is because in their ability, in their koach, in their yecholis, in their strength and capability, they don't have it at all. Mitzad atzmam, in their own essence, as a malach, to liftoach pihem, to open their mouth, v'hakdish liyotzram, to sanctify their Creator, ad, until aliyas kol kedushas Yisrael aleihim ilamata, until Klal Yisrael raises their voice down below.
Oh, because that's our power.
We give them power. So they don't have the power to do it unless we do it first. Because that's the way Hashem made man. Man, in that sense, is greater than the Malachim. The Malach only derives his koach from man. Just like the entire world derives their koach from man. It's incredible.
Yeah.
When you think about it, it's really...
So if nobody in the world said Kedusha on one day, the Malachim would just be sitting around doing nothing.
They couldn't open their mouth. They would not be able to open their mouth.
That's amazing.
And if you take a look at the bracha, the first bracha in Krishma, Yotzer HaMa'oros, if you really look into the words and see what's being said over there, we're talking about the Malachim, and this is what they do all day. They're praising Hashem, and they're thinking about who Hashem is and what He does and what He is and what He does and what He is, and they're just going crazy over there, going wild, praising Hashem. They can't believe how great Hashem is. That's Rabbi Victor Miller. That's the way he teaches Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh. Kodesh means perfect, says Rabbi Victor Miller. That's perfection. Hashem is perfect, perfect, perfect. Three-pronged perfectness. And the Malachim but they can't say a thing until we say. Once we say, they go wild. As it says in the Bracha over there, if you take a look at the words. So all the honor that they give to Hashem by saying all these praises is really is rooted in Klal Yisrael's kedusha. Okay. All right, you got the place, Roy?
Yeah, okay. I know what they said, Rabbi said that Kadosh was perfect.
Rabbi Avigdor Miller. That's what it means. That's a translation that you can understand what he's talking about. Just to say holy, holy, holy. The word itself.
Right.
You think you're in a not that I was in a church, but I think you're one of these guys. Anyway. Okay. That's what the word means. That's what Kodesh means. That's what we mean over there. And it's declared by Hashem. It's Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh. It's Kodesh here in this world. It's Kodesh up there in the Olamas Elyonim. And it's Kodesh. That's in space. And the third Kodesh is, this is according to the Targum Yonason, the way he explains the pasuk Kodesh, Kodesh, Kodesh. It's a pasuk. And the third Kodesh is, his Kodesh, his Kedusha is Ein Sof. Ein Sof means, in terms of the time, there's no cutoff point. It goes forever. Ein Sof.
Perfect without end.
Yes. Hashem's perfection exists forever.
What was the first one?
In Olam Hazeh.
And the second one?
Olam Haba. Not so much Olam Haba, but the Olam Elyonim. The Olam down here, the Olam Atachton, Kodesh is Kodesh here. Is Kodesh there? In other words, that takes care of all the places that there are in the universe. And then we say Kodesh another time, that this Kedusha, this perfection, is Ein Sof. It's forever. Roy, you want to do the next
Key,
part?
Liam, Ras, Shaku, Aras, Ros, Hiskash, Son. The recitation and sanctification elevates and interconnects the worlds. Kol Aram, Shema Aram. Each world with the world above it. The house Sif, Kedushosam, Utzich Suach Aram. To increase the holiness and refine their light.
And the what?
To increase their holiness
L'hosif kedusha sam,
and refine their light.
increase the kedusha of all the worlds. Sichsuach oram. And that's, in other words, that's basically to make their light stronger. ore is stronger. And that's, ore over there is a type of not just a physical light, it's a spiritual type of ore. Just like Kedusha, we understand, is a spiritual entity. So this is the purpose of, he says, this is the inyan. This is what's involved in saying Kedusha. It's a halat ha'olamot. It's an elevation. It results in an elevation of the world. V'hitkashrutam. And it orders them in the proper order, connecting them. Specifically, the order of the connection is that it makes the in other words, how does this olam here get its kedusha in its light? It gets it from the olam which is above it. So to the extent that they are connected, so there's a better transmission, a better flow of the kedusha and the or from one higher olam down to the one that's below it, and then on in turn to the next one. So when we say kedusha, wow! If we could just be able to see this on the YouTube or something, it would be amazing. Just see all these elements.
The light coming down.
We have to put it inside our head that this is what's this is an important thing to say kedusha. I know myself, I don't often say kedusha because I'm usually still in the middle of Shmon Esrei. But that's.
But then you stop and you're supposed to think about it, right?
Yes. Yeah. You. Yeah. Even in the middle of yeah. If you could hear him say it. Most of the times, 90% of the Chazanim, they don't, I don't know why.
Except on Shabbos. Shabbos usually you go.
Yeah, good. Okay.
If they say it slower, they sing it, so it comes out. So is it...
Rav Moshe actually, if you want to know the halachic point, Rav Moshe says that in order for you to be Yotzi Kedusha, if you're in the middle of Shmon Esrei, you don't need dafka to hear it from the Chazan, he says. If you your friend next to you is not davening anymore and he's saying Kedusha, you could and when he says it, he could be motzi you. You don't have to be a shliach tzibur in order to be motzi. So says Rav Moshe.
Interesting.
But it has to be with kavanah lahotzi. In other words, it's not simply enough that you hear people saying kedusha. That doesn't mean that shomer ka'ona means that the one who's saying has intention to be motzi, the one who's listening. If he doesn't have intention to be motzi, or the person simply can't hear him because he's saying it under his breath, so there's no shomer ka'ona. So anyway, just a last point.
It's like a cycle, isn't it? So we give strength to the spiritual life, and then the spiritual life comes down and gives strength to us.
Right. The last stop is this world. So to the extent that all the olamos experience an elevation from the mitzvahs of Klal Yisrael, the Ma'asim Tovim of Klal Yisrael, that makes more strong the kesher between all the olamos all the way down into this world, right?
It's like water.
I was just thinking that.
Oh.
Wow. I was just thinking like a hose. We're like directing a hose and it's going up, and the Malachim are getting the water, and then they're sending it back down to us.
I was actually thinking of I was thinking of the evaporation going up, making the clouds come down.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's even better.
That type of.
Very good.
Drawing
That's
myself
very
a little.
Very interesting.
I came to that because I was too busy drawing.
Yeah, so that's a physical manifestation of a spiritual.
What goes up has to come down.
Recycle.
Right. Oh, Matt, you're going to join us.
Baruch Hashem, I'm going to listen in, yes sir. But I tried to hurry back so I could listen a little bit.
Very good. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Shall we? Ayin v'heichalos. Who wants to? Where you want to read a little? Or? Okay, Lou's going to read it.
Ayin v'heichalos today v'heichala tinyana ayin. I don't know what the ayin is.
Ayin, from the word I. How do you say I in Hebrew? Ayin.
Ayin.
Right.
And
So
the eye-
ayin means to give an eye to.
Oh.
Ayin.
And looky here.
Look into this Sefer, in the Sefer Heichalos.
Heichalos. Kudei, that it opens. The Heichala in the sanctuary. Chinyana.
That's the,
I don't know these words.
okay. Pikude over here could be, he means in Parshas Pikude. And Heichala Tinyana means the second, what do you call it? You have the first edition and you have the second edition. They have different,
This is all just a reference.
yeah, this is all telling you where to look. He really wants, he's very specific in all of his references over here.
I've got the reference cited as Zohar 2, Pikude 247b.
Zohar 2.
Pikude 247b, describing Israel's sanctification, enabling the angels.
He calls it Zohar? Look in the Zohar, he says? Okay. Parshas Pekude? That's what he says? Okay.
We translated here as per the Zohar. Where is it?
247, right. Right. Reish is 200, Mem is 40, and Zion is 7. Right? So it's on the base.
So it's the end of the second side.
Right. End of the... right. Right, that's right.
Inyan Kedushas Hamalachim, regarding the subject of the holiness of the angels. Haba Mikoach Amiras Kedushasenu, that comes from the strength of the saying of our Kedusha. Zion Lamed, I don't know what that is.
Zelashona.
Zelashona, this is the language.
In other words, he's telling you that this is going to be a direct quote.
Got it.
We're in Perik Yud Aleph, man.
Thank you.
And Roy might be able to tell you the page number.
Sorry, Zion Lamed is
Zelashona.
This is the language. This is a quote.
Now making the quote. That's why there's quotations. You have
Right.
quotations?
I do.
sometimes Zion Lamed will stand for Zachrono Livrocha. So you have to know from the context of the sentence whether it means Zel Shono or Zachrono Livrocha. If it's after someone's name, so then it's the other intention.
That's a good one. The Elaine de Yamina Amrei she Yerasa Shirasa. What's Elaine?
We have the Hebrew on the bottom in the brackets.
Oh,
Let's go over there. Elu.
Oh, here we go.
Omrim
The Elu.
Shira.
And these, the Yamim, from the days, Omrim, that we say song, that we sing songs. Hu Ma'alim Ratzon the Mala, and the will above, Omrim Kadosh, and it is to say Kadosh. Uma'alim, and the upper ones, the sown, their desire, the mala, from above, is to say Kedusha, Kadosh. The Elu, Mismol, Omrim, Shira, Uma'alim, Ritzon, the mala, V'omrim Baruch V'chule, etc. And these, what's mismol?
Okay, we have Yamin and we have small.
Left.
So Elu Miyamin, these ones from the right, Omrim Shira, they say Shira, Malim Ratzon Lamala, and they produce satisfaction, Ratzon Lamala, above, for Omrim Kadosh, and they say in turn Kadosh, meaning Kadosh, 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 Hashem Tzavakos, the Elo Mismol, and those from the left, Omrim Shira, they say Shira, Malim Ratzon Lamala, and this raises a Ratzon, a satisfaction, Lamala, above, Omrim Baruch, and they say Baruch Kavod, Achuso. The second pasuk of the three-pronged kedusha.
The Mischabrim Kedusha B'Kol Elu, and they bless.
Mitchabrim. What's the three-letter shorsh in this word?
Chaver.
Right.
And they're friends.
All right. What are friends are connected to one another.
Right.
Chibor is connection. Mitchabrim is the reflexive verb that says they connect one another to them. They connect themselves to one another.
In holiness.
The kedusha.
With all of these.
Kol elu
sheyodim, that know l'kadesh, to sanctify la'adonam, their master,
right?
Yehuda,
right?
Alone. No, together.
That would be Yachad. This is from the word Yehuda. Right. In other words, he's the singular. He's the Yochid. Hashem is the Yochid of when it comes to. He's the one. Without comparing or parallel in terms of kedusha. So when they're
in his aloneness,
in his singular level. He's the only one that has that level that he has of infinite level of kedusha. So that when they are sanctifying their master, Yehuda, it means because they're ascribing to him a singular, this singular level that he has. Not just to say, yeah, Hashem is Kodesh, and Michael Jordan is also Kodesh. Still alive, I don't know. No, Hashem is the Holy One, without any parallel whatsoever. B'Yehuda, he's singular, no comparison to anyone or anything else.
So, when we say to sanctify the HaKodesh, we're saying it's to make something holy. But Hashem, we can't do anything to Hashem. So it's like when we say blessed is Hashem, I've never understood, when we say Baruch Hashem, I don't understand that any more than I understand what it means to the Kadesh Hashem.
In other words, how could we make Hashem more holy than he already is?
Right.
Okay, so this is something that we've been talking about in this Sefer. Right? How can our actions affect Hashem really? Based upon our actions, Hashem is giving more light and kedusha to the universe, or giving less sustenance and life and light to the universe. Does that mean that we're changing Hashem's power? No. No. Hashem's power is unlimited. But the way that Hashem has wired the world, and how we are at Tselem Elokim, we are in a certain sense giving kavod to Hashem, giving koach to Hashem, giving strength to Hashem. And we have, he's mentioned it before, to new oz lelokim, to give strength to Hashem. That's what we mean when we say to give strength to Hashem, to give him the strength to do what he has wired the world to be able to do, according to what he has decreed in his ultimate wisdom.
Kulam be'lulim, kululim, elu.
Kulam kululim,
be'elu, b'yichud, echad,
there's that word again.
U'miskashrim, zeh.
Oh.
All of them, kululim, this, and all of them, I don't know what kululim. This.
Kolo is to include. Kulam kululim, elu be'elu. All of them are encompassing and including one another. B'yichud, in one singular unified effort. B'yichud echad.
Echad, one of them. Kashrim zeh b'zeh. I forgot what miskashrim, we just had it.
What's the three-letter shorish?
Kasher.
Kesher.
Oh, and to
which
make
is
a connection
to connect
between
right.
each one. So they're including everybody in this one togetherness.
Wow.
And connecting each one.
Right.
Ad shekulam osim kesher, until all of them make a connection, echad, one connection, the ruach, echad, and one spirit, umis kashrim be'elu, and they connect to these shel mala, above, the os kulam echad, to be all of them one, lehis kalel zeh, and to connect this to this.
Right. I think here he went back. It seems like he went, not he, but this is a quote from the HaKodesh. Pekude, that he's talking here about the Olamos now. What we said before, through the Kedusha, we elevate the worlds through the kesher that we strengthen from one world to the other, the one on top of that one, and the one on top of that one, and so on and so forth, all the way up, all the way down. He's talking about that. I don't think he's talking about the kesher of one malach to another. He's talking about the kesher of the lomos one to the other.
So
he says over there, Roy?
So you're saying Elu be'elu, that's the Alomos? And Zeh be'zeh?
No, those are the malachim. Elu miyamin, Ormim Shira, and Elu Small, Ormim Shira, and Baruch, and they say HaKodesh. That's talking about the Kedusha of the malachim.
And what about Zeh be'zeh? Is that the world? The Olamos?
Yeah, but after the V'chule, right, the Vav, Chav, Vav,
right,
slash, then he's talking about the worlds. That's the way I understand it. Kulam kululim elu be'elu v'yichud echad.
So Elu be'elu in this case is the worlds.
I think so. It's not so clear because he didn't mention the...
I'm asking about a different Hebrew here, different, unless I'm in the wrong place.
He uses
it's not the same as what he's reading. A couple
he
of
uses
words.
the word kalul with elu, the elu, and the word kesher with zeh bezeh, and then at the end he uses the word kalel with zeh bezeh. So is there any significance to this? Are this just synonyms, or is there some significance to the different wordings?
Well, Elu is Lashon Rabim, first of all.
Right.
Zeh is Lashon Yochid.
Okay. But Zeh bezeh, you're saying each and every one, right?
It's Kashim Zeh B'Zeh, right?
Which becomes plural.
Achikulam Osim Kesher Echad, until they form one unified kesher between all of them. Ruach Echad. And one spirit, one Ruach, who is Kashrim Be'elu Shalamala. See, now when he says Lamala over here, that's why I'm inclined to say that he's talking about the Olamos, because he described before that the Olamos are in a configuration of one Lamala Mizu and one Lamala Mizu. We don't say that about Malachim. We don't say that one Malach is Lamala Mi, this one.
Right.
So just approximately, this statement here is talking about the kedusha that the malachim do, and what it and it's talking about the effect that happens in the olamos elyonim. Although we said before that what the malachim say or do does not affect the malachim, the olamos elyonim at all. It's only what man does.
Right.
So it's a bit confusing over here, this quote.
Yeah. It says Shekulam Osim Kesher. So that's presumably the Malachim are making a connection.
think are different words here, although the English translation is similar. I don't know if I'm in the wrong place or there seems to be
What's that?
I've got that there, and they translated here, similar to what you're saying,
Okay.
but it's different, unless I'm wrong, it could be lost.
Can I say?
Yeah.
I think I know exactly what you're saying, and I'll show you. But I think I figured it out.
That translation is for this here.
Correct.
Right. But what they're saying here, what they've got there is not what we've got here.
Correct. You're right on both counts. So they did us a disservice by having the last portion over here that we have to turn to over here to get, and then this portion here with the little dot doesn't start until down here.
Right.
So this thing belongs to the previous page,
that's
and the
right.
words are different. You're exactly right.
I think there's no space in it. Yeah. So this is what we've got, and if it's going to cast light or shade onto what you've got.
Let's see what he says.
Numbers 100% unclear.
It's taken me a few days now to figure out exactly what, and I think we just figured it out together.
Okay, we didn't get here yet. Ein creates Chaim.
Correct.
Right, that's the next paragraph according to my book.
And it starts a little bit further down on the right where the little round white dot is. Good morning.
Pages.
Good morning. Wanted to make sure you were awake.
193, 194. Right, no angel can open his mouth.
So the Hebrew on the top of 195 really belongs to the bottom of 193.
Seems like he has a quote here that we don't have.
And there's a little something extra.
We don't have this either. Oh. Okay, I can't figure this. I'm mixed up over here with the pagination over here.
No, the English for that is on this side here.
Oh, okay, that's the translation of what we just read. Okay. Recitation of the sanctification elevates and interconnects the worlds, each world with the world above it, to increase their holiness and refine their light. As per the Zohar, okay, that's the one that we just read, is HaKodesh. Okay, what does it say? The angels on the right sing praise and elevate the will above by saying HaKodesh, 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 and those on the left sing praise and elevate the will above by saying Baruch, and they join together in holiness with all those who know how to sanctify their master in unity.
In what?
Unity. That's how it's translated B'yichuda. Kaddish Adonim B'yichuda.
Oh, unity, okay.
So, okay.
See, that implies that the angels are elevating, which, that's our question, because we said they can't do that.
Okay, then he says, and they all are incorporated within each other in a single unity and bound up with each other until they all form one knot and one spirit, and they are connected to those above, with all becoming one and incorporated in each other.
Okay.
And we
That's
asked,
what we just read.
yeah, that's a fair translation of what we just read. We were just asking who's the Elu and who's the
Right.
Zeh v'Zeh that they're referring to. So that they don't translate what that is referring to.
Right.
But I saw over here actually the notes in this sefer that we have, that he says over here, B'heikolas pekude, b'heikola tzanina, reish mem zayin, that's what we're talking about. B'vor she'inyan ha'kedusha hu amiras shira. The matter of kedusha is the saying of shira.
It's the saying.
The saying of shira. V'zeh lashon, and this is the quote from the into Lashon HaKodesh from the Aramaic and the Zohar. Elu miyamin omrim shira u'malim ratzon lamala v'omrim kadosh v'elu mismol omrim shira u'malim ratzon lamala v'omrim baruch. And then the author of the sefer, he learns like this, which I think is similar to what we said. Lamadnu, we learned from this, she'inyan hashira eino kapshuto, shir halel v'hodah v'kol kokosa. Shira here is not simply the saying of halel or giving hodah with all one's might. Ella aliyadah, rather by means of this shira, umala umakasher umiyached es kol ha'olamot inyan hakedusha. So he does also connect it to the olamot. He's makasher and he's miyached all the olamot. So this last part.
You just said it's not halal. It's not.
Yeah.
What is it? It doesn't say.
No. But he does say that this is what is makasher and miyached as kol olamot, the inyan hakedusha. That's what we suspected. That the quote, when it says it's makasher and all the things that it was talking about, it was not talking about the malachim. It's not talking about connecting all the malachim together. It's talking about connecting all the olamot together to, like we said before, to strengthen their connection, which therefore produces a greater bringing of the spiritual bounty down through all the worlds.
What is affecting that strengthening of their connection? Well,
like we said before, even though it does sound from this quote, he's quoting one part and then he's quoting another part. It could be that they're not exactly one part following the other part. But like he said before, we know that's the whole basis of his whole sefer, that malachim don't create any connection or unity in the olamos. It's really what man does. It could be, I'm just thinking right now, it could be that even though the malachim can't open their mouth, like he said, until Klal Yisrael does, because they get their koach from us. But once they do get their koach from us, then they say kedusha, and it's that kedusha that they say that produces that has this effect. But it all starts with us. That's the main point. They can't do a thing without us. Right.
Okay.